a super long video, but I just want to share this with y'all, and I want to share the article with y'all so y'all can go read it for yourself, and hopefully y'all will get the books and y'all will start understanding this on your own personal level. Fair? Is that fair? Ones, if that's fair, you go understand this for yourself. And I'm just helping you understand it for yourself. I'm not doing it for you. What does intimacy have to do with shadow work, dreams, and journaling? In the shadow work journal, probably like journal prompt 8 or 9 or 7, one of those, we have a real in-depth section on learning how to make love to yourself, like creating a freaky sex tape with yourself. And that might be difficult for some, but if you can't do that for yourself, how you going to do that with somebody else? And so what we're trying to do is trying to challenge you to get out of your own way. This is what I need y'all to understand when it comes to y'all spiritual work. The effort is in removing the blocks. Because once you remove the blocks, you are now in the flow. Once you're a part of the river, if you're a part of the river in the cosmic flow, how are you identify individually? So can't nobody take you out? They got to take the whole river out. This is the beauty of the flow. When you're afraid to be intimate, it might seem as though you can't make love, but it has reverberating effects in all areas of your life. Because when we talk about shadow work, we talk about shadow projection. Shadow projection is when you don't put action to the things that you need to do, and instead of it showing up directly where you didn't put action at, it shows up indirectly. An example would be you mad at your boyfriend, but you take it out on your kids. An example would be you mad at your job, but you take it out on your boyfriend. An example would be you mad at your mom, so you take it out on your dad. You mad at your parents, so you take it out on your siblings. Whatever you're mad at, you're not actually mad at. Because by the time you actually get mad, you done built up a whole cache of anger, and now you ready to explode. The reason why you should banish consistently, the reason why you should clean consistently, is that it's not that much that you need to release if you have a consistent process. Another analogy would be if you clean the house every day, it's not such a bad thing as if you clean the house every 2 weeks. So you clean the house, let it get dirty over the next 2 weeks, and now you got to clean up a whole bunch of shit. Some of us is like this. But then you got to understand that cleanliness is next to godliness. Banishing is next to godliness. Clearing the energy is next to godliness. If you find yourself always angry, how are you relaxed when it comes to intimacy? Women say, I need a man with money. They never say, I need to reduce my fear of intimacy. One's in the chat. One's in the chat, men say, I need a girl that's sexy. They never say, I need to reduce my fear of intimacy. One's in the chat. So the man that's angry, he not angry at the ops. He angry because he has no connection to his intimacy. What is intimacy? The etymology is intimacy is the oneness. It is the wholeness. It's the innermost. It is the soul. It is the deepest communication that you could ever have. And if you don't have it, you don't have nothing. One's in the chat if she got a boyfriend, but you'll never see him though. One's in the chat if he a secret lover. Secret lovers mean you fear intimacy. You fear intimacy. What's the point of us talking about sex magic? Wrong video. One's in the chat if she married to her career and her job and they treat her career and her job like it's her boyfriend. She got fucking big old cakes and donuts and all types of stuff she bringing into work. She turned into Cali. She got 4 hands. She got donuts, coffee, cake, lunch, pizza. She told her boyfriend to kiss her ass though. These are signs that you fear intimacy. You know the girl that's always perfect on Instagram and got all of the advice and she pretty and she got everything good going on in her life and got all the advice to give you. She probably fear intimacy and this is giving her an outlet to be perfect in front of you. Cause she know for a fact that she ain't perfect when them doors close and that internet gets shut off. If you can't be real around your partner, see, sometimes you can't tell your partner that you don't like this or you don't want this, and you don't tell them. You don't communicate that with them. And they don't do it. And you wasn't never vulnerable and never honest or authentic enough to say what you like or what you don't like because you was fear of losing them and you fear the intimacy that could be established by saying, hey, I want a threesome with your brother. Hey, I'm about to quit my job and live off of your checks for the next 2 years. All the person gonna say is, no, I don't want you to do that. Or no, we ain't about to have no threesome with my brother. What the fuck is wrong with you? But the point of being vulnerable is not to suppress and repress your truth. And if you start this early enough and you do this consistently enough, you don't have nothing to worry about. The problem is you, especially in long-term relationships where you're not vulnerable, then you're creating a shadow of your truth not being expressed. And once again, you're always angry. You're always at work. You're somewhere else. You're doing this. Oh, this is my favorite. I'm with my mom. We shopping. I'm at my mom. We at a restaurant. Why you ain't with your man? Cause I fear intimacy. I don't want to be really intimate with him because, that would mean I would have to give him my authentic truth and self. And really, I just like when he pay the bills and stuff. Actually, I don't feel like we should be able to do all of that. One of the things you see with people who fear intimacy is that they lack confidence in their decision making. They don't trust their ability to make them decisions. They second guess themselves and they think, well, I don't know. And this is a root because they liked somebody in the past that didn't turn out right. So if you keep liking people and they keep not turning out right, you might think there is something wrong with your decision making. But how much shadow work did you do before you got with that boy? People tell me after they got their kids, well, I had kids, I didn't really know myself. That sounds great. That sounds cool. And sometimes our children are the catalyst to us knowing ourselves, but please understand that you have to do work before you start making good decisions. And if you made decisions in the past off not doing work, don't judge yourself. Start doing the intimacy work and don't worry about being intimate with a partner before you being intimate and gentle and sexy and consistent with yourself. One's in the chat. She want the boy to love her more than she love herself. One's in the chat. One's in the chat. He want the girl to love her more. He want the girl to love him more than he love himself. One's in the chat. One's in the chat. They want their partners to love them more than they love themselves because they fear the true intimacy, not between each other, but the intimacy between you and your soul. It's very important. Your soul is constantly communicating to you through spiritual energy, which would translate into sexual energy. See, but let's talk about sexual immaturity. What's the telltale sign of a sexual immature person? Immature means childish. What do childs have? Children have toys. What do y'all have when y'all be having sex? Toys. You got sex toys. You are sexually immature. Constantly, I think about you all the time. Constantly, you're on my mind. When this is a quote from John Mayer. Constant explosions of anger indicate immaturity. Immature people cannot form intimate relationships. Immature people cannot form intimate relationships. So if you find yourself always angry, it's not the partner that's making you angry. It's your immaturity and your ability to mature in your spirituality. How do you mature in your spirituality? You begin to take your spiritual energy seriously. And old people have it figured out. That's why they can wear, those beige pants with the Velcro on them. They don't care about the physical world. They get very much into their psychological development as they prepare for traveling to the astral realm. When we're young, though, we think we have something figured out by following the world and following society. But think about it in a mature space. If you want to do sex magic, you can't be hyper aggressive and deeply into pleasure. You have to be able to have the conversations about true and utter bliss and slow, passionate love making. And if you can't establish that with yourself, it's going to be hard to start to establish that with someone else. The trick with intimacy is that when you do establish it with yourself, that you begin to attract and move yourself into an alignment. And then when you begin to share your intimacy with your partner, that's the thing that get them pussy with. That's a deeper level of the game. We have a fear at a deep subconscious level that blocks us from our spiritual journey. But when we relax into our energy during sex and meditation, we release the grip that once had us in our fear and anxieties of intimacy. Unfortunately, we live in a world where it is hard to relax, and at a subconscious level, it becomes even more complicated. However, if we become intentional about relaxation, we will begin the process of powerful sex magic. When two people are interested in sex magic, they must know how to relax internally and in together. When two people don't relax and align energy, they become deep into their shadow and eventually result into fear and anxiety, which is the blocks from them doing sex magic altogether. Within us is an unconscious goal. You have a goal within you that is unconscious, that's not connected to your consciousness. When you're doing spiritual work, you're moving towards the unconscious goal, the goal that you don't know anything about, but you know that it's there, and that's why you're doing the work. Some of us feel as though we do not have an unconscious goal, and all of our goals must be conscious. So it's all about who we like. It's all about our abilities to be perfect. It's all about our career choices. It's all about our ability to hide our flaws. And all of these things just represent fear, and fear is an energy. Fear is a manifestation. So when you have fear as a subconscious root and you begin to have sex, you create more fear energy. However, when you channel the love through deep and authentic and vulnerable conversations, and you trust the person that you're with, that you're making a good decision, and you're ready to submerge and immerse yourself in that relationship for good or bad, then you are saying, I'm trusting this unconscious goal that my soul already has for me, and I just have to open myself up to it. If you don't understand that or trust it, then you're going to be conscious about your goal setting. You're going to be doing sex magic for $10,000. You're going to be doing sex magic for a new house. But the goal is something that you don't know. The problem is, if you could digest that, then you always have to deal and keep your conscious mind at bay through being repetitive and consistent with your spiritual journey and your spiritual work. Most of us don't even know that our goals are there for us. Most of us think that we have to program our goals and fixate ourselves on our conscious goals. Another idea would be when you make love and you have a baby. It's an unconscious goal, the whole entire process. You're having sex and the sperm goes in the fallopian tubes and goes into the ovaries, and it's a 9 months process. All of this is happening not consciously, it's happening unconsciously. And then when the baby comes out, that's all an unconscious process. Everything in life works like that. You could block that process. You could smoke 5 packs of cigarettes a day and ruin the pregnancy. Or you could just drink water, eat healthy, walk, take advice from your doctor or your midwife, and just have a successful and healthy pregnancy. You could do all of that and it still won't come out right. Or you could smoke 2 packs a day and have a healthy baby. The goal is unconscious. And all we can do from a conscious level is fuck up our lives. If we want to better our situations, then we focus in on our subconscious mind and do the work that helps us understand something that is very hard to understand. Now, because you have fear, anxiety, and shadow from the refusal or the denial or just the downright you're not going to do shadow work, you might feel like you can't do sex magic. You don't need a magical journey. You just can go to work, get your direct deposit, and everything gonna be okay. And you might be right. If you ever want to tap into mysteries and you want this to be simple, then the goal is for you to relax. Relax always. Relax as you go to sleep. Relax as you make love. And especially relax as you communicate to your partner. Ask yourself this question: does your partner love you? Do you trust your partner? When you talk to your partner and they're vulnerable or they're being truthful and they're triggering you and you're getting mad, you're going to have to relax. Because sometimes, as I said earlier, you can see that anger bubbling and boiling and boiling, and then one day it just erupts. And it's not so random. It's actually conscious. You've been waiting on this anger to finally erupt, and when it finally did,